Hi everyone, I'm Arnel, and today we're going to look at reported speech, also called indirect speech. Same thing. If we really want to understand this grammar, we need to look at direct speech, backshifting, reporting verbs, modal verbs, reported questions, and reported commands. I know, it looks like a lot of information, but we will do everything step by step. Let's start with direct speech. I love your earrings. The exact words someone uses is called direct speech. In writing, you can recognize direct speech because of the quotation marks. Quotation marks are those little lines around a word or a sentence. Mini note. When it comes to American punctuation, generally the double quotation marks are preferred. With British punctuation, normally you'll see the single quotation marks. But obviously in spoken English, that doesn't matter, and the grammar is the same. Amy said, "I love your earrings." Amy said that she loved my earrings. When we report speech, we are summarizing what someone said to us. And you can see I've changed a few things. Present simple becomes past simple. And I've changed the pronouns. I and your becomes she and my, because I'm speaking from a different perspective. And yes, that is optional. You don't have to say it. Changing the tense from present simple to past simple is what we call backshifting. Backshifting is just a very fancy way of saying going back one tense. Why? Why do we backshift? Why do we go back one tense? It actually makes sense. Let's do another example. I'll use a timeline. Imagine now someone says, "I forgot to do my homework." He uses the past simple. Bah. We can see here now the present has become the past. Robin told the teacher that he had forgotten to do his homework. You can see I change the past simple to the past perfect. And I've changed the pronouns. I and my becomes he and his. Pretty logical, right? When we report speech, we also need a reporting verb. A reporting verb like say or tell. Say or tell. Huh. Is there a difference? There are lots of reporting verbs in English. For example, agree, complain, mention, etc. But say and tell are the most common, and in today's lesson, I'm sticking with these. They are both irregular verbs. Say, said, said. Remember, the pronunciation is said, not said. Tell, told, told. With direct speech, use say. She said, "Good morning." "No, you can't," he said. "They told you're welcome?" No. But when we report speech, both verbs are fine. "Why aren't you going out with us tonight?" "I already said I was sick." "I already told you I was sick." Both of these verbs mean the same thing. And you can see, even though I'm still sick now, I've used a past simple because I'm reporting what I said earlier. Here, I don't need to change the pronouns because I'm reporting my own words. Told you, told you, told you. When we use tell, we must give the person we are speaking to. I told you that I was sick. I told him that I was sick. I told my dog that I was sick. I told the whole world that I was sick. We do not do this with say. I said you that I was sick? No. So using tell can give you a bit more information. But say to someone is correct. Martha said to me that she was going to be 20 minutes late. Okay, so let's keep going. Let's continue with this whole backshifting business. We know in English there are 12 basic tenses. I have my present tenses, my past tenses, and my future tenses. Brain, please don't cry. If you don't know how to use all of these tenses, in today's lesson it does not matter. We are just looking at backshifting, so don't worry. The present tenses, when we report them, become the past tenses. So that's kind of an easy pattern to remember. Present simple, past simple, present continuous, past continuous, etc. With the past tenses, you can see past perfect and past perfect continuous remain the same. Why? Because you can't really backshift. You can't go further back than the past perfect. Future tenses. All of the future tenses have the verb will in them. What's the past of will? Would. So we need to change that will to would. For example, future continuous, will be sleeping. He told me that he would be sleeping. Okay, I will put this list in the description below. Let's keep going with a few more examples. How's Gloria doing? Is she out of the hospital yet? I haven't heard from Gloria in weeks. I assume she's out of the hospital. Ren told me that she hadn't heard from Gloria in weeks. I have my reporting verb. I've backshifted. Present perfect becomes past perfect, and I've changed the pronouns. I'm staying here for 2 nights. Sean said that he was staying there for 2 nights. You can see my changes. I've used my reporting verb said. Present continuous becomes past continuous, and I've changed the pronouns. You can also see in this example, I've also changed the adverb because Sean's here is my there. So keep in mind that sometimes you also need to change the adverbs or the location. For example, this becomes that. Okay, let's look at a question one of you asked me. Last year, I made a video called Close Phrasal Verbs. If you want, you can watch it here. At one point in the lesson, I use reported speech. I say, "Psst, the teacher said we had to dress up tonight." That's right. Dress up means to wear very formal clothes and to look nice. And I got this comment. My question is, earlier in the video, you used this sentence. The teacher said we had to dress up tonight. Why did you use had to and tonight in the same sentence? A bit confusing, right? Past simple plus tonight, that's the future. It's all because of reported speech. Imagine the event is in the future tonight. Earlier, the teacher said, with direct speech, you have to dress up tonight. I report this later. The teacher said that we had to dress up tonight. So we have that kind of weird combination of past simple and the future. I live in the UK. She said that she lives in the UK. What do you notice? You can see here, I haven't changed the tense. Present simple, present simple. Is that correct? Absolutely. Normally we don't change the tense if the information is still true today. So in this case, she lives in the UK now. She told me, she said she lives in the UK. We don't need to change anything. We also don't need to change the tense if something hasn't happened yet. Next week, I'm flying to Canada to visit my sister. He told me that he is flying to Canada to visit his sister. Present continuous, because it hasn't happened yet. Yes, if you wanted to backshift, that would be perfectly okay. She said she lived in the UK. He told me that he was flying to Canada. Both would be fine. As you can see, normally when we report speech, we use the simple past. I said, she said, he told, they told, etc. But what happens if someone says something repeatedly? It's kind of normal for them to say this. You could actually just use the present simple. And remember, the pronunciation here is say, but this is says. Say, says. Say, says. I love you. I love you. I love you. He says he loves me. He says he loves me, but he never calls me. Okay, so far we've looked at direct speech, say and tell, backshifting the 12 tenses, and when you don't need to change anything. Let's keep going. Okay, here I have a list of very special verbs. These verbs are called modal verbs. And yes, when we report modal verbs, we do need to change some of them. I know, it's a lot of information. And if you've made it this far, you are doing a really good job. It's not easy grammar. Let's take a look at changing modal verbs. Will becomes would. Can, could. May, might, possibility. May, could, permission. Must, had to, obligation. Must, stays the same, must, speculation. Whew, these modal verbs stay the same. I will definitely attend your wedding. My 90-year-old grandma said that she would definitely attend our wedding. Can to could. I can't swim. He told me he couldn't swim. May possibility. We may increase our prices in January. The store owner said that they might increase their prices in January. May permission. Yes, you may use your phones in class. The professor said we could use our phones in class. Must. You must pay for parking. The man said that we had to pay for parking. Karen isn't back from the store yet. She must be stuck in traffic. He said that she must be stuck in traffic. So these verbs remain the same. Woohoo! You should check out that new Greek restaurant. Pete said that we should check out that new Greek restaurant. Right, we have two more things to do, reported questions and reported commands. So we're almost done. Let's start with yes-no questions. What is a yes-no question? Are you a student at this university? You have two possibilities, yes or no. That is a yes-no question. When we report questions, the backshifting, the changing of pronouns remains the same. But of course, the grammatical structure is a little bit different. That lady asked me if I was a student at this university. That lady asked me whether I was a student at this university. My reporting verb is ask because it's a question. The person is optional. You don't have to include it. If, whether, subject, verb. If or whether, they're the same thing. Generally, if is more common. Common mistake. That lady asked me if, was I a student at this university? Remember, an indirect question, a reported question, is not a real question. So you do not need to change the subject and verb, and you do not need a question mark. Do you like red wine? The waiter asked my friend if, whether she liked red wine. Ask, my friend, if, whether, subject, verb. Okay, let's move on. What about other questions like WH questions? By WH questions, I mean who, what, when, where, why, how. Where do you live? Why can't you work on Mondays? Ooh, who will be at your party? She asked me where I lived. Once again, we do not say, she asked me, where do you live? And because it's not a real question, we can drop that auxiliary. Ask, question word, subject, verb. My boss asked me why I couldn't work on Mondays. Reporting verb, question word, subject, verb. She asked me who would be at my party. Reporting verb, question word, Here, where's the subject? In this case, the subject is who, so I do have my subject and verb. Sit down, be quiet, do your homework, and don't look at your phone. These are called imperatives. Imperatives are commands. They tell someone what to do. Come here, close the window. So these are things someone would say to their child. And when we report imperatives, we change that grammar again. There's another structure. We normally use tell. Tell the person plus the infinitive to base verb. My mom told me to sit down. She told me to be quiet. She told me to do my homework. She told me not to look at my phone. Okay, I'm going to end this lesson with 2 imperatives. Subscribe to my channel and leave me a comment below. I really hope this lesson helped you with reported speech. And I can't wait to see you soon. Thank you very much. Bye!